Alright, so here is my finished product. My wooden briefcase with a solar panel. I have Metatron's cube engraved on the backside. Full outside surface is engraved with a laser to bring out the contrast in the grain. I have all 8 corners covered in these corner covers. Got a vinyl handle on the front that pulls out. I have a number lock on one side and my logo on the opposite side. Back side I have 5/8 inch rubber feet and 90-degree stopper hinges. Front I have a 12 volt 1.8 amp solar panel that I custom built to size for this case. So now looking on the inside, I have a few Velcro spots for some things I'm going to get to in a minute. And when you're working with a solar panel that absorbs photovoltaic energy in the form of DC, you need to convert it to AC for devices to use. So this is a car cigarette lighter adapter that outputs at 5 volts and 2 amps and a USB port. And let me just show real quick that it is working. Let me angle this. So there's the light. It lights up when it's receiving energy, and right now I'm pointing at the light above my head so you can see that it's actually receiving enough energy to output at 5 volts and 2 amps. So this is indoor lighting. It's not very bright at all, but it's plenty sufficient to charge any device. Solar panel is 17 inches by 11 inches. Okay, so I made a little box to hold this so it matches the rest of the case, and it's glued into place. It's not coming out. The problem is, when you're working with a solar panel and trying to charge devices, is you don't want to have your devices sitting inside the case while it's sitting in the sun, getting to 110 degrees like it does here in Florida. So what I used was my backup battery. Right here I have a Satechi 10,000 milliamp hour battery. It has 5 LED indicators to show how charged the battery is. So right now it's about 100% charged, anywhere between 80 to 100% charged. It inputs at 5 volts and 2 amps, so a micro USB. That way it charges as fast as possible. It's fully capable by a USB 2.0 cable. And on the left here it outputs at 2 amps, and on the right it outputs at 1 amp. 1 amp is for cell phones, MP3 players, stuff like that. 2 amps is for tablets. So what I use, or how I use this, is it sticks right here in my case, so I can always remove it whenever I want to. I've got my charging cable here, so that plugs in there, and there into the battery, and I've got this Velcro just to hold the cable in place. So there's my battery attached. Back a little bit. Alright. Up in this corner I have my business cards that stick into place. And then, to show how this charges my phone, the battery came with this little carrying case. It has 2 pockets. The front pocket I keep all my little adapters in, so that you can charge any device, iPad, standard USB micro for cell phones. I'll keep this one out for now. And then in the bigger pocket you can either keep the battery, or I keep the charging cable. So this is the charging cable for either an Android cell phone, a Samsung. So here's my phone. Plugs in there, and then over here. You hold down the power button on the battery to turn it off, and then you hold it down again to turn it back on. And now my phone is charging, as it shows up in the top right corner. Probably can't see it. I can't get close enough, but it only has 3% battery now. The nice thing about this is I can always remove this battery here and put it in my back pocket, my phone in my front pocket, and I can be charging my device anywhere I go. Cell phone batteries generally have around a 2000 milliamp hour battery on the inside. I believe this one to be an 1800 milliamp hour. Yeah, 1800 milliamp hours. Which means that I can charge my phone battery over 5 times just with this backup battery here. So no matter where I go, my phone will always last at least a week. Now I have my, if I wanted to charge, if I wanted to charge my iPad, I just remove this adapter, add this one on. Now I can charge my iPad. My iPad's charging. It does have 2 USB ports, so if I carry my phone charger with me, I can charge my phone as well. The only problem is it only outputs at 2 amps, which means my phone will be charging at 1 amp like it's supposed to. My iPad would be charging at 1 amp, which is half of what it's generally capable of. The iPad generally uses 1 amp of battery while the screen is on, so if you're trying to read the battery indicator while it's plugged into a 1 amp power source, it's going to say that it's plugged in but not charging. That's because the screen is using the same amount of power as that the battery is putting in. So you would have to actually turn your iPad off or leave it in sleep mode like this for it to actually charge. And even then it's only going to charge at half speed. Let me take all that out. Here I got a 3-ring binder from Walmart for $8. I just ripped off the back half so that I have my spot for folders. I've got a spot right here for my phone charger that I keep in it. I've got my 16 gig thumb drive, which always comes in handy for running Ubuntu or any of my video editing or audio editing programs, anything like that, extra pictures. You open up the front. I've got all my pens, pencils, extra lighter rubber bands, notepad, another notepad. Anything else that may ever be potentially useful stays in here. My carrying case for my cables goes there. Phone fits on top. iPad fits this way. And there's everything I will ever need. Fit inside of one solar box. Hope you enjoy.